One. Oh, where were you there?
Sorry. Uh, Restart or? Oh,
No,
sorry.
no, let's just keep going, pal.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Welcome to another exciting episode of the 8 Fundamental Pillars of Business Marketing. I'm here with my good friend, Dave SHILLITO, coach, mentor, and entrepreneur. He's going to talk about pillar number 5 and why it is fundamental. So over to you, Dave.
Thank you. Well, I hope everybody's well, and thanks again for your attention. Sure do appreciate it. As Raj said, my name is David SHILLITO from Business Model Mastery, and these are the 8 fundamental pillars of business or business marketing. It's pretty much the same thing, really, isn't it? If you know me, you know that one of my mantras is business is marketing and marketing is business. So this pillar is called increasing customer order value. Increasing customer order value. Now, last time, I do believe we were talking about recurring continuity income, which is a solid business model, but it's different from this model. So other than websites, membership sites, and other membership models, this is more to do with when the possibility is high that you'll never see the customer again. So e-commerce, that kind of thing. Now, I know there are exceptions which prove the rule. So if you're doing e-commerce and let's say selling pet products and somebody comes along and buys a dog bowl, it's still worth building a list because it's entirely likely that that person will want to, will be interested in a dog toy. Right, especially if you keep in touch with them by email and you're offering them members discounts, early bird specials, VIP coupons, and all that kind of stuff that we really should be, that we teach in entrepreneur school. So a kind of opposing but just as potent different model is increasing customer order value. So probably thanks to an amazing unique selling proposition that we've already been through, your marketing and sales skills have paid off, and you now have a new customer on your website or e-commerce platform hitting that buy now button. Woohoo! Which is good news, isn't it? So they've made the decision. They've made the decision to buy your offer, to buy your product, right? So for the sake of illustration, let's say it's a relatively low ticket item, like a book or a DVD or a dog bowl or something. But would stick with physical book or a DVD as an example. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to give you nine ways to increase what each customer spends before, during, and after they check out, right? So you may never see this person again, and so it makes sense to increase the order value, to increase the amount that this customer happily gets involved with and spends with you on that particular visit, because you may never see them again. I hope that makes sense. So there's 9 ways that you can attempt to do that with each customer before, during, and after they check out. So, ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
So the first one is what's known as a classic order bump. A classic order bump. Other people may have different names for this, but I call it a classic order bump. This is usually during the checkout path. At some stage during the checkout path, pre-order. Now, an order bump is when the buyer is presented with like extra things and options that they can add to their order during the checkout process. So the first of this type is just more of the same, more number-wise or volume-wise, more of what it is they've already made the emotional decision to buy, more of them. This is often referred to as the value bucket, right? So if somebody's going to buy one at the checkout page, you go, hey, why not get 3 at a discount price? That's the simplest version. It's called the value bucket. So that is the first way to get people to spend more money during the checkout process. It's to just, somebody came to buy one thing and you say, hey, did you know the price per thing drops if you buy 5 of them? Would you like to do that? And that often works, especially with things that are consumable, right? So this works very well for pills, potions, sprays and lotions, tablets, supplements, that kind of thing. So if you're doing e-commerce and you're selling health supplements, this is almost de rigueur. It's almost standard business practice is to say to people at checkout, okay, you've said yes to one bottle at $9.95. How about $3 for 3 bottles for $25 or something like that? So a classic order bump number one is called the value bucket. More of the same. Would you like more of the same? The second option that you can give people during the checkout process is shipping speed. The shipping speed option, right? So people didn't know that they had a choice of shipping speed, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because when somebody's made the emotional decision to buy and they've clicked through to the order page, that click being a physical manifestation of commitment, they've clicked through. So emotionally, they've kind of anchored the idea that I've decided to buy. Then they get to the checkout page and they're presented with shipping options, right? So the standard shipping may be £6.95, £4.95, $6.95 or whatever. And then they're offered expedited shipping, faster shipping for $3 more or for £3 more or something like that. So they didn't even know that there was a faster way to get the stuff that they've just emotionally decided to buy. They didn't even know that until they arrived at the checkout page and they were presented with this speed of shipping option. So that is another way of getting somebody happily involved in spending more money than they thought they were going to. Right? Which is basically Amazon Prime. You know, people pay an amount every month. I do. So anytime you order anything from Amazon, it's there the next day. And, you know, things that people buy from Amazon, they want them sooner rather than later. Right, the next way at checkout or during checkout is the additional format bump, right? An additional format bump. So what they've just opted to buy, but in a different modality, in a different format. So we were talking about books and DVDs. Let's stick with a book, for instance. So the book might be $6.95, and at checkout you can say to them, hey, would you like the book and the audio book?
Okay.
Right, so people like to listen to audio books these days. They like to listen to podcasts. They like to turn their car into a mobile library if they're going to be driving to and from work, rather than listen to the Bee Gees. They think to themselves, you know what, I'm going to bang on this podcast, or I'm going to listen to this audio book, which is a great use of time, of course. So this additional option is a format bump. So the thing that they opted to buy, what they're presented with at checkout could be that and an additional format. So hard copy and audio would be an example. And a different additional format bump could be a workbook, for instance, right? So it could be the audio book, it could be the thick book, and then it could be like a workbook, like a Cliff Notes, a condensed thing that you can download straight away. So there are different types of additional format bumps. Now, a third example of an additional format bump, would be the opportunity to consume the thing immediately. So let's say it was a DVD that they were buying. I know DVDs are losing traction at the moment, but they're still very, very popular. An awful lot of DVDs are bought and sold, especially on Amazon, a lot. So it is still legitimate. So the footage that's on the DVD, the film or documentary or whatever it may be, giving the person at checkout the opportunity to consume immediately after purchase whilst they wait for the DVD to arrive in the post is also a good thing. And then, of course, you can do the shipping speed bump and that as well. Now, here's an interesting thing that your viewers might not have thought about. Quick pop quiz here, right? When thinking about the additional format bump, which is about immediate consumption. So stick with me. They're buying a DVD. That's what they've emotionally decided to buy. They're expecting the thing coming in the post. And then at checkout, they're presented with this idea that they could actually consume it straight away for a small amount extra. Here's my question. Should that alternate format be offered instead of or as well as the original format? Instead of or as well as? It's a bit of a trick question. So here we go. They've opted to buy, they've made the emotional decision to buy a DVD. They're expecting it to come through the post. At checkout, they are presented with the option of viewing the thing immediately after purchase as a digitally. Should that option be offered as well as or instead of? The answer is as well as, always as well as. Why? Well, because as we said in the list building module, one of the most valuable lists you can build, valuable being as in it's very, very unlikely to be a nonsense, because people do give Mickey Mouse email addresses, and it's very, very likely to be unchanged for the next few years, is a person's actual land-based name and address, right? Their actual house address. It's one of the most valuable lists that you can buy or rent or build. You remember us saying that?
Yeah.
Right. So if when they get to checkout, they're expecting something in the post, and then you offer them the digital download instead, you as the vendor are missing out. You're missing out on being able to harvest their actual land-based address, their house address, and therefore their tacit permission to contact them again. So that additional consumption, that immediate consumption option should always be an as well as, not an instead of. You get that? Hope everybody caught that in the wind. That's an insider tip from Business Model Mastery. Okay. The next way to increase order value during the checkout process is one of those, they used to be called a Johnson box. I don't know what they're called these days, but you will have seen them. It's like a little extra order box with a dotted edge around it and a radio button and some copy underneath, which basically says, whoa, okay, great, good decision. We're about to process your card. Why don't you make the impulse decision to add this extra thing right here, right now, if you want? So it could be something that makes that which you've already emotionally decided to buy easier to use, quicker, more complete, and so on and so on and so forth. But it is an impulse purchase decision. It has to be, because the whole offer, the whole additional offer, has to be explained in a small box, end to end, soup to nuts, bumper to bumper, all the copy to make the person make the decision to add this to their order has to be able to go in a tiny little box on the checkout page. So it has to be pretty straightforward and bloody obvious what the extra value is that they're going to get. But that is the classic, yes, add this to my order, one-time offer panel. And it should be a one-time offer as well. They really should not be able to add that to the order at a later date. If it's physical goods that's been shipped, then that is a self-licking lollipop. But many a time people go through these processes and they say no to something, knowing full well or hoping full well that in the members area further down the pipe, the vendor will still try and harvest as much money per customer by saying, okay, I don't know if you decided to pick up this additional one-time offer, but here it is again, proving it wasn't really a one-time offer. That's a quick way to lose credibility. So that's another way of getting people happily involved in spending more money during the checkout phase is the one-time offer panel. You can opt for an extra thing by just clicking one tick, one radio button. I'm sure many of you viewers have seen that. Right, so moving on. People will have heard of upsells and cross-sells and one-time offers. So we've just covered the one-time offer. Let's have a look at upsells. And
Upsells, okay.
Okay, the upsell. The classic upsell is where you would offer a more valuable, deeper dive version of what they've just bought. Let me run that by you all again one time, okay? The upsell is where you offer a more valuable, deeper dive into what it is they've just already bought. So if they've just bought a £10 book on fishing, the upsell might be a £97 video course on fishing, right? So it's in harmony. It's the same thing, but there's more of it. There's more value. But it's still about fishing, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they just paid £10 for a fishing book. The upsell could be a £97 video course also on fishing. Or if they just bought the £97 video course, the upsell to that could be your £297 group coaching. But it's the same thing.
I've seen that a lot. I've
Yeah,
seen that.
it's the same thing. It's still in harmony. It's still more of what they want. Or if they've just bought your £297 group coaching, the upsell to that might be what? Your £2,000 one-on-one mentoring program about the same topic. Still down the same line. It's just more, a deeper dive, more investment to get more gooey goodness down that exact same path about what it is that they already put their hand up in the air. Okay. Further down the ascension ladder, we call it. So an upsell is usually a deep or deeper dive into exactly what they want more of as an outcome. So they opted for the book because they want it to catch more fish. And they'll go through the essential ladder, or they'll go for the upsell because they still have the same outcome in mind. They still want to catch more fish. It's the same outcome, but they want to know how they can do it faster, easier, cheaper. They want to scoot to the front of the knowledge line, as it were. So that's upsells, more of the same. Cross-sell is different. A cross-sell is where you would offer a related or complementary product or service that makes what they've just bought better or more complete. That's a slightly nuanced difference. So let me run that by you all again. The classic cross-sell is where you would offer a related or complementary product that makes what you just bought better or more complete. Example. So if they've just bought a camera, the cross-sell might be to a carry case and a tripod. See how that works? It's like an accessory bundle deal. So, you can fully see how this would be somebody taking phone orders from somebody who said yes emotionally to a camera. So they've got them on the phone and they're taking the credit card details or the debit card details to buy the camera. And then the phone person is groomed and tutored to always offer this one-time offer on the phone right here, right now, one price, can't be repeated bundle deal. You've just bought a camera. At some stage, somewhere along the line, you are going to want a carry case, right? And you are going to want a tripod, right? Why not get those? Why not get those things right here, right now, bundled together at a price you'll never see again? Would you like to do that?
Yes.
And a lot of people who've just bought a camera would say yes to that at that stage because the logical part of the brain will go, yeah, well, that makes sense. I was thinking about a case and a tripod anyway, so I may as well get it from these people right here, right now, save on shipping and get a big fat juicy discount as well. Does that make sense? Have you got that one?
Yes, that makes sense. It's related. So if they buy the camera, they get an offer for the carry case and the tripod. So the related items, and like you said, with the logical part of the brain,
Yeah.
it makes sense. If I was going to buy a camera, I'd look and they were offering me additional accessories, I'd go for it as well.
Yes, if the case was supposed to be, I'm making this up. Let's say the case was supposed to be 40 quid and the tripod was supposed to be 20 quid, and you were offered both of those for 30 quid, you would go, yeah,
Mm.
okay.
It's a no-brainer.
Of course you would, yes. Or here's another example of a cross sell. If the customer's just bought a printer, right, then the cross sell might be extra ink and a ream of paper, because these are things that they are going to buy anyway.
Consumables, yeah.
Yeah, they're consumables. They're going to buy them anyway from somewhere because they've just bought a bloody printer. So they may as well buy the extra ink cartridge and the paper from you right here, right now, at a price that they'll never see again. So a cross sell is usually something else that the consumer may well have had to acquire separately from elsewhere in the future that they can say yes to with you right here, right now, at a bargain price. Make sense?
Yeah.
An everyday example would be a meal deal, right?
Meal deal, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's a simple example of a cross sell variant. It's a sandwich with discounted drink and crisps.
Mm.
Or maybe it's crisps with a discounted sandwich and drink. But the main item is usually what people think is the main item. Yeah, you don't walk in for a drink and think, oh, I think I'll buy a sandwich. It's more likely you go for the sandwich and think, oh, I need something to wash this down with, right? So the sandwich is the main purchase. And the meal deal is basically, okay, well, you can get the sandwich for this price. You could buy a drink separately for this price and a bag of crisps separately for this price. But we have a meal deal on this, and this for less than all of those three would have cost together. Yeah?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool and the gang. All right. So that's the difference between upsells and cross sells. Now, we did earlier touch on the OTO, the one-time offer. You know, that thing that you can click to say yes to a one-time offer during the checkout. But I just want to revisit one-time offers. Just for a moment to underscore it. The one-time offer is an additional option. It's an additional option, but unlike cross sells and unlike upsells, this additional option is a trigger by the fact that it's only ever going to be seen once. That's the main trigger. The making of the offer, if it's a genuine one-time offer, the making of the offer is by implication only available once during the sales process or on a never to be seen again page in the sales funnel. And it has to be genuine. If you're going to say, hey, this is your one shot at adding this value, if you say no to it or you go down to the next page, you won't be able to navigate back. This is a one-time offer. And that needs to be genuine if you don't want to lose credibility. So that is just another way of getting people happily involved with spending more money during the checkout process is the one-time offer. But it has to be genuine. Offer. Right. So the OTO is not about what's being offered as much as about the fact that you'll never see it again. Right?
Okay.
So those are the 9 ways, I think, of in its purest sense, taking more money off the customer during checkout. But as you will have experienced, I like to rephrase that as getting people happily involved at a higher level of value, which is just a word salad, but it's still true because people aren't being conned. They're making the decision at every stage. Yeah, actually, that does make sense to this side of my brain. I will be needing that. I do want that. So they're not being conned. There is no con in this entire process.
It's all legit.
Yeah, it's perfectly legitimate. It should be. You're offering people things that they didn't realize they needed or wanted, or you're putting ideas in their head that they would never thought of. You know, these health supplements, you've just bought a month's supply. There's 30 in a bottle. In 30 days from now, you're going to be coming back and getting more. Why not buy 3 months supply, 90 days supply, and get them all cheaper? This all applies to the logical side of the brain. There's no imagination needed here. It's just maths. It's the same with the camera case and the tripod, and the ink and the ream of paper. It's just logic. So nobody's been conned here. So yeah, there's 9 ways of getting people happily involved in more value that they may have not thought of, or may have not even known was available to them. So when somebody makes the emotional decision to buy something, it's not until they get to the checkout do they realize that they can have expedited shipping, that they have the option of getting it there the next. If you're not buying on Amazon with Amazon Prime, any other, I mean, one personal example that I use, which I'm not going to go into now, is about when I bought a canvas banner, big 6x2 canvas banner that goes outside a building or something from a local printers. And the price of the banner was most attractive. I think it was about 35 quid. So that was no problem, given it's advertising and it's tax deductible anyway. And that's all good. And then the young lady said, it will be about 5 days, for delivery. And at that point I was like, whoa, 5 days? I need this on the hurry up. Now what she should have said in that moment was, right, I can see from your expression that it's the delivery window that's a problem for you. I tell you what we do have, for a 15% bump in the price, we'll put you, we'll give you the express service, and we'll have your banner ready for you in 2 days. Would that be all right for you? 50% of buyers who pull a face when you tell them it's going to be 5 days will go for that. But if you haven't got that, if you don't have that expedited fast shipping option, if you haven't got that baked into your model because you don't know about it, because you've not been through business model mastery, then you won't know to do it. And the girl at the shop didn't know. She said, oh yeah, no, we haven't got time for that. And I'm like, oh, God. Anyway, there we are.
Anyway.
So in conclusion, the other way, which we've already covered, interestingly, the other way to get more money per customer is continuity. It's a subscription.
Which we discussed.
Yeah, but we've already been through that. So that's like making a sale every month. If somebody's subscription is, 150 a month or 75 a month or 37 a month, whatever it may be, that person sending you that money every month is like them making a purchase every month, which is great, because that's you taking more money off each customer, right?
Right, yeah.
It's the same thing. It just happens to be automated, but that is what that was, or is indeed, such an important model that it got its own module, which we've already discussed about subscription or continuity. So I hope that's been useful and helpful to your viewers and listeners if you're podcasting this, Raj. And that's about all I have to say this time round on that topic.
All right. Well, once again, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us and to our viewers out there, who are watching. There you go, folks. That's 9 ways of increasing customer sales. So that was pillar number 5. Until next time for pillar number 6. Have a great weekend. Thanks to all the viewers that were out there.
Back for
and
next time.
We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Everybody have a good
Bye-bye.
safe then till now. Now till then. Bye.
Bye.